Hi everyone, my name is Stasia and I'm an educator at the Science Spectrum. But today we're going to be in my living room. And this is my friend Leo. He might hang out with us for a little bit. So today we're going to make solar ovens. You might already be familiar with an oven. Most everyone has them in their kitchen. It creates heat to cook our food. But where does that heat energy come from? Well, energy is the ability to do something, and I bet you guys have a lot of energy right now. The heat energy from our ovens usually comes from electricity. It plugs into the wall just like your TV or your microwave. And that energy can come from gas, like natural oil, or sometimes solar-powered panels or wind turbines, which we have a lot of here in West Texas. But today we're going to use regular solar energy. That means it comes from the sun. This is an electromagnetic spectrum. So we've got a lot of different energies here. Way over here we have gamma rays, and those waves are very squished together. And this is the kind of stuff that will either kill you or turn you into Superman, but don't try that at home. As the waves get bigger, you might find X-rays, which are pretty cool. We use those in hospitals to see inside of our bodies, but they're still dangerous. And then we have UV rays. That's what gives me a sunburn. In the very middle here, we have visible energy. So that's what we see with our eyes, and it gives us all the beautiful colors of the world. And if we keep going, we'll get infrared, microwave, and radio. So the sun produces all of these energies at once. So it can be pretty dangerous to stay outside too long. But if you're cookie dough, you might turn into a tasty snack. So in order to make a solar oven, we'll need some sort of saran wrap or cling wrap, aluminum foil, a pizza box or a shoe box. You can also use a regular box that has the 4 folding lids. We're going to need a pencil, a slightly dangerous razor, or scissors is probably safer, but you know. Masking tape, a ruler, and this part's important, tempera paint. We want it to be black and it must be tempera. So any other paints that heat up can release toxins that you don't want in your food, so please make sure it's tempera. And then you're going to need some sort of palette or brush to paint with. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure 1 inch or 2 in from our box, but we're only going to measure 3 sides. So leave the back one there. And we're going to draw those lines. And then we're going to cut it out. So if you don't have scissors and you're using something dangerous like this, make sure you have an adult around. And if you're already an adult, you might want to consider a more adulty adult, just in case something happens. Be very careful. Always cut away from your body. One more cut. Alright, so now you should have a flap. Mine broke. Don't tell. Let's bend this just a little bit. There we go. So we want to make sure we still have a couple inches in the back here. So this is actually going to be our lid of the solar oven, not the true lid that it came with. Alright, so now we're going to take our pencil and we're going to trace the inside of that little box we just cut out. Close your flappy flap, open the lid. So you should have that little square inside, just dust off the crumbs, it's fine. Alright, so in this little box that we drew, we are going to attach aluminum foil with that masking tape. Shiny side up, of course. If it's a little bigger than the box, that's okay, we're going to paint it later. And we're going to tape on all 4 edges just to make sure that it is secure, because you don't want this to move around once you start cooking. Whoops. your bottom should have the foil in it. So now we're going to paint a little bit. Make sure you shake up that paint. We want it well mixed. How's it going, buddy? He's had a long day. Naps are hard. Alright. Don't forget to take off the safety seals. That part's important too. Oh, just kidding. Let's try that again. Oh look, I've made a mess. You might also consider some paper towels. Alrighty. So make sure you don't squirt out too much paint that you waste it. You can always add more paint later. So we're going to paint a frame around the foil. We're going to paint the parts that you can't see when your flap is open. Alright, so we've got our frame painted, so now we're going to paint the inside of the box, and then we're going to paint the whole outside. But no need to paint the inside of your flap, but we're going to do something different with that. Alright, so now the inside is painted and the outside. We're going to fold the lid and put it back in just like normal. Close the lid. And we're going to take some masking tape and we're going to tape those edges shut. Ew, I shouldn't have done that. Da, 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 da. After you tape it, you can paint it black. Do you know why we have to paint it black? Well, black absorbs all of the visible light. So the more light there is, the more heat there is. Other colors only absorb some and reflect the rest. So we want to make sure that this is all black so that it can get as much heat as possible. And that'll help it cook faster and more evenly too. Oops, I did it again. Don't do that. Alright. Let's do just a little more. Then we'll do some on the side. Okie dokie. So now on the inside, we still have this. What we're going to do here is add some more foil. If you want, you can tape it and repaint it or not. That's fine. I'm just going to fold the edges over so that it sticks a little. Awesome. Alright, now we're ready to cook. I've got some skillet potatoes that I'm going to test. Let's go put it outside. Alright, it's time to test it out. Get your solar oven, your food, and that saran wrap. We're going to put our oven on the ground and open it up to face the sun. We want to get lots of that heat energy here to reflect it into our oven, and then we'll put our food inside. So now we're going to cover that opening with the saran wrap. If you're like me, you always have problems with the saran wrap, so you're welcome to put a couple extra layers on. Oh boy. Alright. Make sure that opening is covered and let it sit. Thanks for hanging out. See you soon.